everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's Zoom training. So it really feels like it has been a long time since we have this session, right? So now I think about it, last month was GRIC. And after GRIC, then I went to Singapore. So it has been like a good month since we had our last Zoom session. Okay, so it's really good to see all of you. And today we are having a very exciting topic, okay? And just to give you a bit of background story, what led to this topic, it was just not long ago, we were just having a conversation, okay, among my colleagues, right? It's just like on a lunch table. So one of our famous, or I would say, our favorite topic is about skincare, and we talk about anti-aging. So we were just having a conversation about all kinds of treatment that nowadays people are doing to their skin, right? Of course, you know there are Botox and you know there are fillers, okay? And all kinds of injections that's ongoing. There's hyaluronic acid injection, there is facelift, there is relief, all kinds of things that we were just talking about. So we were like, okay, all these things seem, of course it's promising and many people do it, okay, because you do see results fast, right? And of course, if you look at how celebrities are, right, we know it's not so simple as to like us normal people, or simply eating or normal skincare. We know they do something. But it stuck something in me. It made me think, okay, so if there's so many of all these anti-aging options out there, but do they really address the root of aging or not? And I was just thinking to myself, so if these people they just do Botox all the way, okay, or if whatever skincare procedure they do, right, can they actually go without caring about that diet or stress or whatever? So that is the one thing that really sparked my interest. And I feel that it is also interesting to look into how Feel Great can uh, target this angle, because I feel like this is another whole area to explore. And I feel that rather than always going to that kind of boring angle into okay, disease, which I think we all know that, okay, diversity, disease, and all that. So how can we relate the science of Feel Great into how it influences the way we age? Interesting, right? So we're taking Feel Great or whatever that Unicity does can actually impact our body. All right. So rather than going into that, why don't we investigate and you see the relationship of how metabolic health can impact our aging, the speed of how we age. Okay, so it's going to be quite interesting today. So I'm going to not only going to look at the skin, I'm going to look at the organs as well. Yeah. All right. Okay. So let's break the aging cycle today, shall we? Okay. So today's topic will revolve around this term that we hear a lot in GRC, which is glycation. So glycation is basically a simple term. It's just a scientific term for the combination of sugar and how it binds to our protein. So this fancy word glycation is basically sugar in our body have a reaction and it starts to bind with protein. So this is basically just the whole concept of it. All right. As long as you understand this, you will be able to catch what I'm trying to say today. So I'm not going to go too detail about how the science of this because it's actually really very simple. Now, so this is what we are going to investigate today. So what is the data and how does glycation really affect aging? Because we know that sugar is bad for our body. And if we take sugar, it will, lead to a lot of breakout. And I think many people, their knowledge just stops in there. But we don't really see the evidence. How exactly does that impact our body? All right. So today we will look at two angles. One is the skin. Okay. The first sign of aging is on your skin. And next is your other organ. So we look at your biological age as well. So this is the image of our skin, right? So you can see that this is a snapshot of how our skin changed over time. So this is 20s. You can see that, okay, the skin is very supple. Okay, this is all the collagen fibers here. And 30s, okay, unfortunately, I'm already in this category, okay? So, there's already first sign of aging, okay, dull and lifeless skin. Okay, once you hit 40, there's more changes, and 50, you can see that a lot of the collagen fibers have already deteriorated. And there's very significant lines out here, and your moisture retention will also slow. So collagen, just so you know, is 70 to 80% of our skin. Okay, that's a very big percentage. And we forget sometimes how much collagen is actually on our skin. So mid-20s, you lose about 1% of collagen thickness every year. So your skin gets thinner every year. Okay, every passing year, your skin gets thinner. So when it comes to post-menopause especially, so 5 years after menopause, you lose about 30% thickness of your collagen. Okay, so this is a bit of a cruel fact to women, okay? Being a woman myself, I find this to be a bit unfair because right after menopause, this is where immediately your collagen storage will deplete immediately. And not just only that, you lose about 2% of collagen every year thereafter. So right after 5 years of menopause, you continue to lose double of that collagen compared to those who are, have not hit menopause. So of course, I was also curious to know, okay, this is not fair, right? Only women. How about men? So, well, lucky for men is that they don't have menopause in a sense that their testosterone wouldn't just drop so drastically. But of course, testosterone level also will deplete over time. So once maybe they hit, for example, 50, their testosterone level also will decrease, but not like women straight away 50%, maybe every year, 2 to 3%, that kind of thing. So the collagen will not degrade or will not lose as fast as women. But still, of course, men will age as well. So this is where for men, aging will look better on them. As for women, once we age, okay, we have to put in a lot of work. That's all I have to say. All right. So how does sugar age your skin? So this is a graphic, okay? So these are all the sugar that binds to your protein in the skin. So excess sugar will bind to it. And after it binds for some time, it will form this thing called advanced glycation end product. So you will see this word a lot also, but don't be afraid, it's just a term. So we call it AGE. So this is the thing that we want to avoid. Because once you have this thing, right, it's irreversible and it will bind on your collagen and it will damage it. Okay, it's like this very hard material. So this is a healthy skin. Okay, healthy skin is very good as you can see. But once, if there's a lot of glycation, right, it starts to bind with your collagen fiber. So you see, this is your collagen. Initially, it's all together like that one, right? So once there's toxic sugar, it starts to have a cross-link with the other collagen and destroy the original structure of your skin. So this is where you can see it becomes like, it really depicts your original collagen structure. And this is where signs of aging will appear. Okay, all the, lines on your skin. So this is how glycation impacts our skin in the long term. So this is a healthy collagen youthful skin, and this is what happens when their collagen bonds with, okay, and this is how the structure will be, okay, microscopically with toxic sugar. So this is a visual that you can see how glycation can truly impact our skin. So collagen loss due to glycation can double the rate at which your skin shows wrinkles. So for example, right, 1% per year, okay, 1% per year for mid-20s. So glycation can double that loss. Potentially, it can be up to 2%. So the rate in which you age will be a lot faster compared to those who don't have glycation happening. So this could lead to visible signs of aging 5 to 10 years earlier in individuals with high blood sugar levels, poor diet, or other glycation-inducing habits. It's a lot, Okay, we are already aging, which you cannot stop. So if you have more glycation and more sugar in your body, it will make you age 5 to 10 years earlier. And once you age, it's hard to reverse that really, right? So this process can lead to accelerated sagging, making skin appear older faster. And some studies have shown that glycation may contribute to 15 to 20% faster skin aging compared to normal non-glycated aging processes. So if we can stop that, okay, just manage our sugar level, we can already stop 15 to 20% premature aging. Right? So this is all within our control. And this is one of the few things that facial procedures cannot help you. Okay, because it has to do with how our body internalize and process sugar. Okay, so I want to come to this topic back to what I said just now. So how can Botox and facelift, which we know that it is already the norm nowadays, okay, almost everybody that we know goes to one or two of these treatments. So interestingly, I was able to find some data. So they say that, of course, there's no doubt about that. Okay, Botox fillers and other injections, they are effective. Why? Because they are, no matter what, medical procedures. Okay, Botox, what they do is that they will they will prevent your muscles from contracting, so you won't have any wrinkles, right? So this mechanical function of these procedures will work on specific target sites. Okay, you can still get rid of your wrinkles with all of these. But if the skin condition is bad, okay, high sugar and bad lifestyle habits, a facelift and Botox cannot fix that one. All right, it can of course temporarily make it boost and clear for a while, but after some time, your skin will also start to have wrinkles and you can also have pimple and these kind of things as well. It cannot replace the quality of the skin. So Botox and all these things are great to have, but these are not foundation of a healthy skin. All right, foundation of a healthy skin is just like bricks to a house. Okay, you need to make sure that you have all these things laid out nicely. Then only you add the extras like a nice chandelier or a nice art, right? But if your house is all cracked already, the wall and the floor is cracked and it's like going to collapse anytime, then there's really no point buying a nice chandelier, right? It makes the whole house ugly also. So it's the same illustration in the sense that our skin needs to have good foundation first. Botox, all these are great, and we're not against those procedures, okay? Seriously. Those are really up to individual. But it cannot replace the quality of your skin. They don't do anything and they only target more of a specific area. Okay, if you really have some lines and obviously age, okay, you may have to do something to reduce those lines. Okay, so if you don't do anything, the skin quality will still be the same and your age, wrinkled, rough, acne, fine lines will still be there as if before the treatment. Okay, and they say that okay, plastic surgeons, okay, they say that actually if they, a lot of them come to the clinic to do all these face things, expecting it to be perfect. Okay, but their skin quality is really terrible. One. And they say usually all these things can only do a short-term fix, but it cannot address, the quality of the skin. So we still be bad after that. Okay, so this is how glycation, okay, cannot, I would say all these procedures cannot undo the effects of aging. Okay, that's happening in our body, the foundation of our skin. All right, we still have to do something to ensure that we address the root cause of anti-aging. Then all these treatments only will work, right? Okay, so next we will go into other organs, right? Skin is only one part of aging. Now, just so you know, collagen is not just only on our face. Okay, there's also collagen in our blood vessel. All right, yeah. So as long as they are muscle fibers, then there will be collagen even in our blood vessel. Okay, so we can see here, sugar binds with collagen in the blood vessel. Okay, so sugar will bind with collagen. Actually, if you realize that's the trend. So it likes to attach itself to collagen for some reason. Okay, so it will cause our blood vessel to be very stiff. So the skin, it will cause it to be very stiff as well. So for our vessel, it will also cause the same effect. Okay, so it will reduce elasticity, making it very hard for our blood vessel to expand. So once it's very hard, right, with glycation, it makes things very stiff. So this is where all the blood pressure problems, all the stroke, okay, arteriosclerosis, all the build-up effects will happen even more drastically. So this is where aging, glycation, will also affect the blood vessel in our body. So when we are chronically exposed to high blood sugar in diabetes, the stiffening of our blood vessel can occur just over a few years or decades. Okay? Whereas in healthy individuals, this process occurs more gradually and typically takes decades. Okay, what I'm trying to say here is that if you are diabetic or if you're high blood sugar, your blood vessel will stiff a lot faster in just a matter of few years. So for normal aging, maybe it takes 10 years. But for those who have high blood sugar, the time can shorten up to maybe two years or 5 years. Right? So the speed of your artery getting old is a lot faster. Okay, so this is what I'm trying to say here, where glycation also happens to affect our blood vessel as well. Okay, so the same thing don't just only happen to our blood vessel. Okay, it actually spreads to every single organ of our body. So of course, blood vessel is in our heart, right? It's also happen in our brain. It can also happen to our kidney. Okay, where we can see diseased kidney and a healthy kidney. How glycation can also affect the blood vessels there. Diabetic eye, all right, which we'll go into this also, and it will also affect our joint. Okay, because it's collagen, right? So all these sugar AGE will also bind and destroy our cartilage as well. So from here we can see that sugar is not just a harmless thing, okay, that we eat every day, But if we really were to look into it in detail, it affects every single part of our body. Okay, from our skin, of course, is the first sign of aging, right? And to even our biological age, how it makes our body old or young. Okay, it depends a lot on sugar. Okay, so I want to talk about cataract. I want to talk about this in a moment because I think this is very interesting. We kind of know what it is, but we don't know how it forms, right? Okay, so cataract is this eye. Okay, our natural lens become cloudy. You can see this one, right? Leading to blurry vision and untreated, it will become blind. Okay, lead to blindness. Okay, so our lens, interestingly, is also made up of protein. So as long as there's protein, right? Sugar and protein bind, then there's glycation maybe. So there's also glycation happening in our eye. And this can speed up cataract. So the protein, because our lens is actually very flexible. It's not just like that, not like a speck, it can change shape to focus light and all these kind of things. So the protein will start to lose its structure, it become less flexible and prone to clumping together. So it's quite similar to our skin in the sense that the structure will go off and then it will clump together. So once there's a clump, right, this is where the cloudiness happens. So protein deposit will accumulate and cause your lens to be cloudy. And cataracts in diabetic patients are more accelerated at least 20 years earlier. Wow, okay. So that is the reason why those who have high blood sugar tend to have all these eye problems. Not just cataract, but they have glaucoma. Okay, glaucoma is a very different thing where the eye has a lot of pressure. Okay, it's also a type of blood pressure degeneration in the eye. Okay, so it has a lot to do with sugar as well. So it's quite scary, right? How it can even affect our eye. So glycation, in summary, speeds up aging up to 10 to 20 years faster compared to standard aging process. So isn't it scary? Uh, I suppose we all are fearful of aging to a certain degree, but to know that sugar can speed that up 10 to 20 years, I mean, I don't know about you, but it kind of freaked me out, all right, to see the damaging effect of how glycation is to our body. So this is really the main culprit here. Okay, without sugar, of course, we will still age, but our aging process can be a lot more controlled. And we don't have to, be too worried about it. At least we age healthy. They don't age with a lot of disease. So how can we manage this? As much as we know that sugar is bad, okay, it's bad for everybody, but we cannot really avoid. Sugar is not something that we can just eliminate because it is everywhere in, whatever food that we eat, we order a drink, and even rice also, it will be metabolized as sugar end of the day. So we cannot totally avoid sugar, and that is not a practical solution. So what can we do now? The problem with Asian population is this. Okay, so European counterparts tend to have higher insulin levels. Okay, and their sugar level is not so much of a problem. Means that insulin hormone is more of a problem than sugar. But for Asians, because of our diet, all right, we eat a lot of high carbohydrate foods like rice, noodles. So we have a big problem on managing sugar, especially staying in this part of the world, okay, Southeast Asia. Um, yeah, we eat a lot of high sugar food. So in Asian population, the higher sugar may be a bigger problem than insulin levels. Okay, so this is really something that we have to pay attention to. So high insulin will cause insulin resistance. Okay, we spoke about this many times before. But once we have high sugar problem, what happens is that we will have glycation. So this is another separate issue that we have just discussed just now. So if we have both of these things high, it's really like a double combination. So what can we do to address both of these things? Right? Not just one part, but two of these strategies. So this is where we have the best strategy, okay? The best, the easiest, and the most effective lifestyle that you can adopt to make things a lot easier for you, which is the two product marketing. Okay, so I'm gonna relate to this. Okay, phases in glycation, because today's topic is about this, right? So how can Feel Great relate to this concept? Now, in order for glycation to happen, there's a few things that needs to take place. Okay, so early phase of glycation, this is when it is just the beginning part, where sugar and protein is just, lingering in our bloodstream, and it's just attaching on it. So this is where it's reversible, and it can still detach, unbind, okay? So it's not like so bad yet. But this is end phase of glycation where as time progresses, it has already become AGE. So once it becomes advanced already, it's permanent. So this is when it starts to bind with the collagen fibers, right? So this is where inflammation and diseases happen, tissue damage, inflammation, okay, and cannot be undone. So we need to target both of these phases, not just this, but this as well. Because we all have both of these happening at the same time. We all have early phase and also end phase happening. So for us to be able to address this problem, we need to be able to tackle both of these phases. So how to overcome glycation? Number one is to prevent sugar and protein from bonding in the first place. Okay, the more we can prevent this from happening, we can reduce the bonding, the better it will be. And number two is we need to be able to remove these things. Okay, not just prevent, but we have to remove all these waste products from our body. Okay, so how can we do that? So this is where the solution is. Okay, so Unimate and Bioslug S prevents the sugar from bonding with the protein. Okay, because it manages our sugar level. But fasting, on the other hand, is what actually helps us to remove the AGE. So the two products, one practice, actually comes together to effectively target this whole issue on glycation. All right, so this is what happens to us most of the time. Okay, when you eat all kinds of food, especially high carb food, right, it will trigger a lot of spikes in our body. Okay, so when all these things happen, okay, this is where we have high reuptake sugar and insulin. And when this happens, right, there's a lot of bonding happening, a lot of glycation is already taking place. Okay, so when this happens, this is where it increases the risk to all kinds of diseases and such as heart disease, okay, cancer, dementia, depression, diabetes, and much more. So we have to target especially eating, okay, not just fasting. Of course, fasting doesn't eat anything, but the biggest culprit and the most problematic is the food during mealtime. What do you do when you eat? Because this is where all the sugar come in. So to prevent sugar and protein from forming, blood glucose control is the most important factor in preventing glycation. And make sure your sugar level don't spike all the time. Okay, so that's why we don't encourage you to eat all the time, best 2 times a day. So this is where a little help can go a long way, right, with Bioslug S, okay? Because why? This is an illustration if you don't have any shield. So after you eat, food breaks down to become sugar, correct? So after that, sugar absorbs very fast, and immediately your insulin will spike, and your sugar level, of course, will come out and glycation will happen. But when you have fiber, so this is where Bioslug S, we have a very special technology that's embedded to make our fiber expand. And this enables it to be able to absorb the excess sugar. So fiber can absorb this sugar, and sugar get trapped in a fiber matrix. Okay, so when it's trapped, then our body releases a lot lesser sugar, and sugar is digested a lot slower as well. So this can reduce blood sugar up to 28%, and it can reduce total insulin spike by 27%, right? Just by simply taking your Bioslug S before your meal. So this is a very important step to prevent glycation, okay, which is the first part, where we can really target the insulin spike, the sugar spike, especially after food. I think this is, you already, do half of the battle already. So this is our clinical study that shows how 15 minutes before meal and after meal, we can see the effect of lowering sugar after food. Okay, so this is where Buzz Life has played an important role. Okay, that's able to reduce blood glucose post-meal, number one. It's able to reduce sugar spike, so it don't spike up so much. And it also reduces glycation and AGE, which is the final end product in our body. So their stuff has played a very important role to lower and to manage that in the first part of glycation. Okay, so next, we heard a lot about GLP-1, right? Those who are in the GIC, I'm sure you have heard Dr. Benjamin Dickman, okay? He spoke a lot about GLP-1. And it's not just only because of him, but this has been around for a while already. The GLP-1 is making a lot of progress in science and has exploded in popularity. Why? Okay, because we have seen countless of celebrities losing weight suddenly, okay, that they are tend to be plump for 10 years, then suddenly in 2 months, they lost so much weight. So you know this is not very normal. Okay, they are on some kind of special treatment. So this is how GLP-1 became very famous. So how does GLP-1 work? Okay, basically, this is the simplest way I can think of to explain to you. So this is our body without GLP-1. Okay, it's very manual. Okay, with GLP-1, everything in our body works a lot more advanced, a lot faster, and a lot more efficient as well. Okay, so this is how it looks like. So this is GLP-1. Okay, it works like an accelerator, like a turbo engine in our body. So this is our blood vessel and all the sugar and insulin. So 2 hours later, our body have a lot, okay, it still has some sugar and insulin left. But if we have GLP-1, it is able to be that speedboat that we see just now. We can speed up how our body process sugar and also process the insulin as well. So 2 hours later, if you have enough GLP-1, we can lower down your sugar and your insulin a lot more faster. Okay, so that's why we have to increase GLP-1. Okay, it's not just only for celebrities. Everybody can benefit. Doesn't matter whether you are on a weight loss problem, but this tackles the fundamental of metabolic health. So the more GLP-1 you have, doesn't matter whether you're diabetic or not, it is going to help you. All right, for sure. So this is the one thing that we want to try to increase in our body as much as possible. So Unimate have all these components, all right? Chlorogenic acid, saponin, okay, theobromine. So GLP-1 helps the body significantly in processing sugar and insulin levels, okay, at least double the amount of time. And it is well established as a powerful regulator in sugar and insulin management. Okay, it's already been recognized that GLP-1 is a very powerful regulator. And the good thing is that the compounds that's isolated and concentrated in Unimate also work to block or reduce glycation, inflammation, and oxidative stress. Okay, so this is slides that I just got from the scientists, so this is confirmed. All right, word for word, the Unimate can help to block or to reduce glycation. So I think this is really fantastic. On top of its effect to boost our GLP-1 levels, right? So how much GLP-1 does Unimate actually increase? So this is our in-house study where we see a drastic increase of GLP-1 levels. This is Unimate, and this is a control group with just drinking water. We can see close to double the amount of GLP-1 in Unimate. So if you were to be taking Unimate every single day, you're already one step ahead of those who are just only taking water. So the more yerba mate you have, the more GLP-1 you have. So the greater advantage you have towards managing your sugar, managing glycation, and of course, end of the day, managing your aging process as well. So this is where having more of this yellow mate in your day can really benefit you. All right, so this is just a comparison between what's in the market. So chlorogenic acid is one of the main components that gives us that GLP-1. So unique mate has so much more, okay, chlorogenic acid, 10 times more actually, compared to standard green coffee or commercial one. So these are the those that you can make on your own. But unique mate, because we have a very special scientific process, so our chlorogenic acid, hence our GLP-1 level will be a lot more enhanced in that way. Right? Now, sorry. Okay, last but not least, I want to talk about fasting. Right? Okay, so this is really very interesting. How can fasting remove AGE? So fasting can remove harmful AGEs, the one, the end product, right? So fasting triggers autophagy. So this is also a bit of a scientific term, but bear with me, but it's actually a very simple meaning. It's a process in which our cell will clean up the degrading and recycle damaged or dysfunctional protein. So there's always protein that degrades and become dysfunctional. So we have to remove all these AGE1 actually. Because one of the reasons why people have Alzheimer's, it has a lot to do with AGE. So the more autophagy and the more frequent you do your 16-hour fast or 12 hours minimum, you are already enhancing this process. So AGE as damaged protein can be broken down and removed during autophagy. So when you're fasting, your body is doing its renewal process. So by removing this damaged or inefficient part, autophagy helps to rejuvenate the cell, essentially allowing it to function a lot more optimally. So it rejuvenates your cell, it renews your cell so that it can function a lot smoother. And because of this effect, that everything can work more smoother, it can turn the clock of your body cell, right? Because you always renew it, so your cells become younger. So those AGE don't attach to it, so your cells become healthier. They help to regenerate newer and healthier cells. So fasting also has a lot of studies on how it can prolong and extend our lifespan. A lot of longevity studies actually come with fasting. So there's a lot of benefit to your 16 hours or 12 hours. Okay, it's not just to lose weight only. Okay, it's not just doing that. We can clear all these AGE that's in our blood vessel, in our eyes, in our kidney, okay, all these things. It's also essential for stabilizing glucose and insulin levels so it doesn't spike all the time. Right? So this is when the 16 or 12 hours is very beneficial to activate this process. Right? So if fasting, you burn more fat. Okay, burning fat is only one part of the benefit, but it can also help to boost fasting and more efficient removal of your AGE as well. Because we take unique mate during our fasting period, right? So we actually boost the effect of fasting and it clear up even more AGE. So it basically, accelerates this whole process to make it even more efficient. All right. So, okay, this is the summary of what we have learned today. So, Feel Great helps to prevent sugar and protein, and together with intermittent fasting, it completes the cycle of removing glycation that happens in your body. So what is the bottom line? Okay, what have we learned today? All right. So the most important fundamental of metabolic health, okay, is Feel Great really. Managing your sugar and insulin is the most important step to anti-aging. Okay, of course, we know there are things like collagen, and there's all kinds of anti-aging supplements out there. All right. And of course, I'm not saying that they are wrong. Okay, there are a lot of good science behind those things as well. But if we don't have a good foundation, all those things that you eat on top of that won't be able to carry out this function. All right. When your metabolic health is good, cells will be healthy naturally. Once your cells are healthier, your biological age will improve. Means the age in your body, okay, not just your physical age, okay? Your biological age will improve, you'll become younger, and it will also show on your skin. And other organs will also become younger as well, right? Like your blood vessel, okay, like your eyes and things like that. And other treatment you can add on. Okay, whatever patient you want to do, go off, all for it. And it will in fact be even better. Okay, it will last longer and show even better when you have good metabolic health. So if you have that good foundation, whatever else you want to do will be a lot more effective. So feel great is the first step to anti-aging. All right. And I think this applies to everyone. Regardless of what age you are, we are already aging. Okay. So in order for us to make sure that we don't age like 15 or 20, 15 or 20% earlier, okay, feel great is already helping you to establish all these things. Okay. So I hope that okay, you've learned a new thing on anti-aging. So, okay, so this is the end of today's session. So before we go into Q&A, I want to just show you a bit about our future talk, all right, and how we're going to relate to this topic even better. So we have already covered this just now. So the next one, we're going to relate to inflammation. So I think everybody's understanding of inflammation is very simple. Oh, okay, inflammation is bad. Give me stop. That's all, right? And if you want to explain even more, I don't really think you can really explain now. So what is that? Okay, so this is glycation, right? So we're going to relate inflammation and how both of these actually relate to one another. So if you have inflammation, you're going to have glycation. Okay, and how it relates to one another is like this connection view. So we're going to go more deeper into this, and we will also be touching aging. Okay, aging is actually quite a big topic. I will continue part 2 of aging with this talk on the 26th. All right, so we are only at the first part, so please stay tuned to the second part as we continue this topic. Okay, on the 28th, all right, good news for University Malaysia. Okay, we haven't do a physical session for some time. So this time we're going to do a new session, and this is targeted for anyone that you know interested to know about health. Okay, because I think that not many people really realize how important their health is. And this is like an awareness session, and especially if you have new friends who want to learn more about health, I think this is a good opportunity for them to learn. All right, your health is your greatest asset. Okay, so how can we bring in the concept of feel great? All right, so this is going to be great, especially for those who are new. And for Singapore, okay, we're going to do a year-end feel great celebration on the 12th of December. All right, and that's going to wrap up, our whole training session for the year. All right, so thank you very much, everybody. I hope you have learned a thing or two on today's topic on aging. Okay, so very shortly, my team will help to facilitate Q&A. I think today we have a lot of new faces, those from different countries, from Japan. Okay, nice to see you. And from Thailand as well. Yeah, a lot of Japan friends we have today. So you can ask me any questions on aging or so anything from the region. And yeah, I'll try my best to answer you. Okay, all right. Yeah, so let's talk about this. All right, we have some questions in already, so I'm going to address the first one. So does noni help with GLP-1? Yes, it does actually, because noni has a lot of fructose oligosaccharides. It has quite a high amount of FOS. So this FOS can work in our gut. So once they work on our gut and it activates our enterocytes to produce more of these, our L cells, okay, to produce GLP-1. So actually, noni does help, but don't take noni during your fasting. If you want to take, then please take with me. Okay, then it can actually help to increase GLP-1. But its effect is not like giving mate, but it does help to complement and to, make you produce more GLP-1. Okay, so we're taking collagen supplements affect fat loss during the pre-grade program. Okay, I wonder why you have this question, okay? Don't worry, because I know our collagen supplements have some like those like a bit of taste, right? So some people may mistaken that it's high in sugar, but actually not. We use stevia. So it's very low in calories. It's only 21 calories. So this amount of calories won't impact your calorie restriction in that sense. So no, it won't. In fact, I think that if you do take collagen, it's going to help you a lot in managing your aging in your body as well. And once your body, like for example, your skin or other parts of your body are having more proteins, okay, better collagen, it may actually impact and have a better outcome in your fat loss program as well. So I think actually if you can, I do encourage you to take uh, collagen as an add-on to your food grade if you're on that. So it can also help to, address that anti-aging aspect as well. Okay, so hi, how about dark spot on face? For dark spot on face, of course, it's already a pigmentation. So for pigmentation issues, usually a bit difficult to use products or to consume supplements to remove them. Or of course, some uh, antioxidants may be able to increase your glutathione and in that sense help to brighten the skin. But if on dark spots, usually it's a bit difficult already. Unless it's a new kind of dark spot, then probably if you do take some vitamin C, uh, yeah, if you do take some anti-inflammatory components, it can also help. But usually you need to apply with some topical treatment as well to make it stay even more faster. So for dark spot, you can take vitamin C. That can help to a certain degree as well. All right. So, okay, there is this direct message, this private message, okay? So I don't think you all can see this. So I have to read it out for you. So do hot uni mate and cold uni mate affect GLP-1 levels differently? So it won't affect, okay, because our uni mate, it's made for both hot and cold. So we have already gone through a process that it is able to take the heat. Okay, it's heat stable. So once it's in our body, even with the high temperature, it won't degrade the GLP-1 level effect in our body. So you can take it hot or cold, it doesn't really matter. So for some people, if you want to, drink everything one shot, then of course cold water. But hot water does help to also boost that GLP-1 effect as well. So I think it really depends on your preference and how you like to drink it. Okay, so how many sachets of uni mate do you recommend a day? And besides morning, when else would be a good time to take it? So I think it really depends on individuals, but I think 2 packets of uni mate is pretty good already. Depends on if some people can go up to 3. I think 3 uni mate is a lot. So if you can take it, some people they take up to 3 also. If they feel like it really help them and they can sleep. So if you have no problem sleeping and you can take high amount of caffeine, then of course you can go for 3 sessions a day. It's no problem. But I think for most of us, I think 2 would be quite good really. Okay, and when to take it? Morning, you can take it in between after your meal, but not too close to bedtime. Yeah. So for diabetic patients taking medication 3 times a day, how can this patient fast with uni mate in the morning? Sorry. Taking medication 3 times a day, how can this patient fast with uni mate? Medication has no calories, I'm not mistaken. Okay, if you take whatever the doctor gives you, I don't think it has any impact to your calories. And of course, there's a way to take it. So most likely you can take it, even without food. So just follow as per, recommendation by the doctor. If they say to take it after a meal, then you just follow. But generally, it won't impact fasting. So it won't have any interaction with Indian muscle difference. Okay, so what's the maximum number of sachet for BioSlice in a day? I wouldn't say there's a maximum, but depends on the individual as well. Okay, some people they can take high amount of fiber in one sitting, and they don't have no problem. So some people, if in one sitting they take more than 2 sachets of BioSlice S, they can have bloating or constipation. So it really depends on how the person is tolerating. But I think one day you can even take up to 4. Like one sitting is going to have a really high fat food or very high carbohydrate meal, you can take 2 sachets of BioSlice S. I mean, I've done that and it gives me no problem. So it can take up to 4 sachets a day also. But some people, if they take more than that, they may have some digestive issue or constipation or gassy issues. So I would say it really depends on the individual, but I think up to 4 a day is also okay. Okay, so is injection GLP-1 dangerous to health? Okay, so GLP-1 injection is originally intended for those who really have a problem in managing the sugar levels. So how it started is for those very serious diabetics, that they put them on GLP-1 injection, okay, because it's very strong. Okay, they induce up to 20 times the amount of GLP-1 compared to a normal person. So, of course, it's dangerous. So, we don't recommend, usually those who are on injection maximum 6 months to a year, then they have to stop really. Because continuously being on that, there's going to be a lot of side effects, especially on the stomach. You have stomach paralysis, and your stomach can forget to move, and there's some other dangerous side effects. So usually for those who are on GLP-1 injection, not recommended for long term, as long as they once they have their sugar levels controlled, then they will very likely taper off from the injection. So the best is still food. The best GLP-1 really is from Yini Mate and Basaf, okay? So please take that so you don't have to worry about needles or any kind of side effect. All right, so can I take Basaf without eating? Sure, okay, of course, there's no wrong with that. But don't tell me that's the only thing that you eat in a day lah. All right, so of course, if you want to take Basaf as a supplement, I mean, there's no harm, right? You're giving your body even more fiber, so I don't see a problem. Unless take this as a meal replacement, not really recommended lah, because it's just fiber, right? Unless you add with the protein powder, then it makes more sense in that way. Right? So yeah, of course you can take massage without eating if that's what you want to do. Okay? Right. So any more questions? Okay, so looks like that's it. Okay, so we have a really great and interactive session. Okay, I really enjoy your questions, by the way. All right, so if you have any questions on aging, or suddenly, tonight when you go home, you have a question on how it affects your skin, okay, Botox or whatever, okay, please feel free to jot it down and you can ask me the next session when I see you on the 26th, is it? Okay, all right, yes, okay, thank you so much. The poster is clear already. So there will be a recorded version. Yeah, okay, we will release the video. Okay, so thank you very much, everybody. See you. Make sure come on the 26th, okay? It's the part 2 of today's session. Right? So hope you have learned a thing or two and see you next time. Bye.